And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour live on YouTube. Major number 4 on the PJBT schedule for season 22. This is our annual major that's adult junior from Limerick Bowling Center in Limerick, Pennsylvania. We are down to our stepladder finals. We are taking the top 4 teams in both scratch and handicap to the step ladder. It'll be a normal step ladder, 4 bowls, 3, winner bowls, 2, winner bowls, 1. Today we bowled on PJBT pattern number 5. Pattern number 5, it was a very difficult pattern to say the least. We will go over the scores, and haven't seen scores like this in quite a while, especially for an adult junior, let me tell you. So sit back and relax. We got close to probably a good hour and a half of bowling action to come your way. Thank you for joining us. As always, our message board is live and operational. Should you wish to chime in, let me know where you're watching us from today. Hopefully we keep power throughout. There's some rough weather not too far to the west of us right now. Probably about 40-45 miles away, and it's moving pretty quick. So I'm sure it'll get here before we finish out the live stream today. So looks like we are just about ready to introduce our finalists for today. Let's turn it over to Tournament Director Matt. Take it away, Matt.
Okay, PJBT bowling fans, welcome to Limerick Bowl for today's PJBT. Our finals for the 4th major of the season are adult junior. We will have 3 stepladder matches today to determine our champion. The 4 seed will bowl the 3 seed, winner will bowl the 2 seed, and winner will bowl the 1 seed in 1 game single matches. Okay? We'll start by introducing our 4 scratch teams. On the scratch side, our number 4 seed are Alex Horton and John Boyer.
In the scratch division, your number 4 seeds are Alex Horton and John Boyer.
Last, we'll be taking on our number 3 seeds, Ed Petray and Alex Sherman.
Ed Petray and Alex Sherman, your number 3 seeds.
In the winner of that first match will advance to the semifinal to take on our number 2 seeds, Riley and Jack Selmer.
Your number 2 seeds, Riley Selmer, and our PJBT all-time leader in tournament victories, Jack Selmer.
At plus 181 for 9 games, Aiden Davis and Brad Kemp.
And vaulting to the top,
Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our 4
Aiden Davis and Brad Kemp. They are your leaders in scratch.
Okay, now it is time to introduce our 4 handicap finalist team. Our number 4 seed today is Richard Schweitzer Jr. and Sr.
In the handicap division, your number 4 seeds, Richard Schweitzer Jr. and Richard Schweitzer Sr. Your number 3 seed, Katie Swavely and Mary Kate Glinsky.
Winner of that first match will advance to the semifinal to take on our number 2 seeds, Julian Beltrain and Mike Martin.
Your number 2 seed, Julian Beltrain and Mike Martins.
And the winner of that semifinal match will take on our tournament leaders at minus 48 for 9 games, Adrian and Dorothy Picarelli.
Adrian and Dorothy Picarelli, your number 1 seeds. All right, so they are our top seeds. Once again, we bowled on PJBT pattern number 5 today. For each of our majors, we have a different challenge pattern made for us by Cable.
Today's finals will be conducted on pattern number 5. It is a stretch pattern, and we will have the gold pins in for our major final. Time to begin match number 1.
And as Matt said, as with all of our major finals, we re-oil the lanes and we put the PJBT gold pins in for the finals. So let's take a look at some of these scores. In the scratch division, your number 1 seeds are Aiden Davis and Brad Kemp. They were the leaders after qualifying at only plus 108. It only took plus 108 to lead qualifying. Like I said, the shot was a little on the difficult side today. Then they shot 442, 335, and 496. That 496, Brad Kemp shot a 300. That got them to plus 181 and 11 pins in front of Riley Selmer and Jack Selmer, who were actually minus 47 after qualifying. I believe to make the cut and scratch, you had to be minus 78, I believe was cut. So again, you don't see many adult junior tournaments here where the cut is minus, even in our major. So they were minus 47 after qualifying. Then they bowled games of 478, 480, and 459. So they really dialed it up once the lanes broke down. Jack Selmer shot about 770 in extra games. 773, I believe. That got them to plus 170 in the runner-up position. Ed Petraz and Alex Sherman, they were plus 10 after qualifying. And they shot games of 458, 408, and 447 to get to plus 123. And rounding out the top four, Alex Horton and John Boyer, they were plus 73. Actually, they were cut. No, it was minus. Sorry, never mind. They were third, I believe, at plus 73. And they shot games at 392, 394, and 462 to get to plus 121 to make the stepladder. On the handicap side, your leaders, Adrian and Devori Picarelli, were minus 87 after qualifying. Then they shot games with handicap of 372, 481, and 386 to get to minus 48. So to lead the tournament on the handicap side in adult junior, you only needed to be minus 48 today. Wow. In second, Julian Beltram and Mike Martins, they were minus 37 after qualifying and rolled games with handicap of 345, 329, 479 to get to minus 84. Julian rolling a nice 234 game in game 9. Katie Swavely and Mary Kate Glinsky were minus 30 after qualifying. Then they rolled games with handicap of 418, 367, and 355 to get to minus 90. Good enough for third. And Richard Schweitzer Jr. and Sr. were plus 79. I believe that was the lead in handicap, I think. Don't quote me. Then they shot games at 334, 341, and 345, so they took a bit of a tumble to get to minus 101, but still good enough to make it to the finals.
Anyone has any equipment from 21 to 32, please move it down to the lower end of the house. Thank you.
So those are our finalists for today. Once again, we bowled on pattern number 5. If you want to look up the pattern, if you go to the PJBT website at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com, we do have, if you scroll down the left, there's a link for our major patterns, and you can look it up. It doesn't look hard, but it certainly played hard. So I want to welcome those of you who may be watching us for the first time. Thank you for joining us. If you like what you're seeing, you can hit that subscribe button in the upper right-hand portion of your screen, the bell, and if you have your notifications turned on, you will get notified each and every time we go live on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. Also, you could join our Facebook page. That's PJBT Youth Information Page. PJBT Youth Information Page. That is where we list everything that we do with the PJBT, where we keep you up to date on all the goings on with the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour on season unbelievable 22. like to take a moment to give out an early happy birthday to my non-genetically proven son, who's going to be 21. Hey, Lord, I'm old. This Thursday. So happy birthday, non-genetically proven son. Enjoying life up in State College, Pennsylvania. All right, so it looks like we are finishing up practice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special treat for you today. We'll announce that right after Matt gets us started. By the way, on the handicap side, Katie and Mary Kate will be getting 103 pins this game. So a lot of pins for the Schweitzers to make up.
Lane just hit 13 special features.
Okay, bowling fans, it's time to begin game number 1 of our finals. On the scratch side, it is number 3 seed Ed Petraz and Alex Sherman taking on number 4 seed Alex Horton and John Boyer. They have elected to have Alex and John start the match on the left lane. On the Handicap side, we have number 3 seed Katie Swavely and Mary Kate Krinsky taking on Richard Schweitzer Jr. and Sr. Katie and Mary Kate are going to start the match on lane 15. Difference in handicap is 103 for their team in this match. Okay, bowling fans, let's have a nice stand for our game 1 finalist.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and away we go. Joining me in the PJBT broadcast booth, someone who's been telling me for years he was going to sit down with me. State your name, guest.
Good evening, Chris Selmer.
Chris Selmer. How you doing, by the way?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Hey. Just another Sunday in a bowling center.
Yeah, this is a long Sunday.
It is. Thankfully, it's not a far drive for us.
That's true.
Chris is Riley's father. We will see him in the next match. All right, so starting us off on the handicap, the scratch side, Alex Horton starts off with a strike. They're bowling on 13 and 14. Handicap will be on 15 and 16. Katie went 9 miss, and Richard Jr. with a strike. Richard Sr. is now up, lane 16. And he strikes as well.
Yeah, this should be interesting now that it's been re-oiled to see how the teams readjust, because certainly there was a lot of transition from game 1 through match play today.
So, since you got to watch a lot more than I did today, what did you see out there? With obviously the scores weren't high today.
Yeah, it was definitely tight. You had to be accurate. Spare shooting was at a premium today, and there were certainly some ups and downs across the board, I think, with some of the spare shooting that I seen. But it did loosen up a little bit towards the end of the first 6 games. But then it seemed to be in match play, teams had trouble again making adjustments. So again, being on fresh, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
The little that I actually got to watch, it looked like there wasn't a consistent place in the lanes where the better bowlers were playing. So it kind of, the lanes were spotty from pair to pair. Like if you were following people that kind of threw the ball where you were throwing the ball, you tended to score a little better, I thought.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. And, I've seen a number of players they seem to transition to play more inside as the games went on. I know a couple players I watched, including my son, tried to start outside, and it just wasn't there. So there was a lot of movement throughout the 6 games for sure, trying to find. And pair-to-pair was different in many cases.
No, but I'll take that. Thanks. So both bowlers are bowling their full games. This isn't alternate shot or Baker in any way. So this is our longer format.
Out of trouble on 14.
It's our first look at Katie Swavely. I'm not sure she's ever been on our live stream before. Richard Jr. comes in high, leads a 4-7. Him and his dad started out with a double. So chewing into that 103 pins that they have to make up from Katie and Mary Kate. Katie gets 9. See, there's a perfect example of lane 13. Didn't look like he threw it hard, but the ball sailed right through his break point.
Right. Yep. And there's a lot of that occurred today. It was definitely touchy out there. Your speed wasn't just right. Like you said, missed the break point just a tad, and you leave something big.
And he throws the head pin around the 10 on his washout attempt.
Scratch pair, they're struggling to get to the pocket right now on the fresh.
Alex in the bathroom. Oh, he's sitting right there.
Nice spare conversion for Alex. Lane 13. So how would you have attacked the lanes today from what you've seen?
I'd have closed my eyes and prayed.
That's one way to do it.
Well, it depends what what age PA Fats was bowling. During PA Fats' younger years, he had the ability to hook a lane pretty good, but in a boomerang kind of way. Get the ball far down the lane and then let it come in decently hard in the back end. I grew up on like very, very light oil, so you had to learn to throw like that. A little older PA Fats, that was a lot better at playing straight down and in if he had to. That's probably how I would have at least started today. Somewhere between, it was 45 feet, so probably somewhere around 7 or 8 for me, with something that got into a roll, maybe something pinned down with a little bit of surface. What about yourself?
I would have started very similar to what you just said. But again, like you said, it depends on how much hand you can get in the ball, you know, how you can move it. But certainly, with my subpar game, I would have started straight up as well.
I have to tell you, Chris, you're the first person that's ever asked me how I would have played the lanes.
Hey, there's a first for everything,
Wow.
right? What, 20 years PJBT? Didn't take too long. Huh?
No. Mary Kay with a triple. She bowls right out of Limerick, right here.
Yeah, I think she has the secret sauce here at Limerick.
Yes. Richard crosses over, leaves the 9 pin. So once again, our message board is live and operational. Should you wish to chime in, let me know what you're seeing out there. Let me know where you're watching us from today. This is major number 4 on the PJBT season. Our only adult junior major of the year. Good shot there by Alex Horton. Gets a little unlucky, leaves a solid 10. Richard Jr. up in the 6th. Handicap division moving right along. They're already halfway through the 6th frame.
So game 1 today for scratch of the 4 teams left. +1 was the high for the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there was a team that didn't make the finals, but they cashed. I was talking to the junior bowler after game 2, and I said, "How are you doing?" And he said to me, "Oh, horrible." And I said, "Where are you guys at?" He said, -30. And I said, "Oh, don't worry, you're in cut." I didn't know what the scores were at the time, but watching around, I said, "Oh yeah, you're in cut, don't worry." And they were. John Boyer comes in light. He leaves the 1, 2, 4. Richard Sr. splits, leaves the 3, 6, 7, 10. giving him the PJBT kiss of death have not yet opened. Although it wouldn't be fair for me to say that while he's on shooting a split. John does not make his 1-2-4. Richard does not pick up the split. So on the handicap side, it's roughly a 2-mark game. Katie and Mary Kate are still up. Richard with a great shot there in the 7. He's clean through 7. And what center is that? Would that be Chaco's?
They take in turns.
Yeah, it seems that way. Well, Draw, if you one of two things, you can either wait till the end of this game and you can listen to our upcoming schedule and I will tell you, or feel free to go to the PJBT website at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com and download our schedule right there and you will find out. I believe our next one is in about 3 weeks, actually, at Clearview. I believe that's an adult junior.
That is, you're correct.
That would be the first Sunday in December. While you're at it, if you want to bring me an early Christmas present, feel free. You could wait. I'll see you probably closer to Christmas.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You're fourth on my list right now. So.
Hey, that's not bad. That's probably higher up than anybody else. I didn't know you liked me that much. Thank you.
You're growing on me over the years.
Like a good fungus. All right, so Ed is struggling a little bit on this championship pair. He's got 3 opens through 4 frames. Alex Sherman is clean through 3. Alex Horton shooting at a 10-pin. He makes it. He's clean through 4. His partner, John, struggling a little bit. He only has 1 mark through 3 frames. Richard Sr. goes high in the 8th, leaves the 3-6-10. Alex Sherman leaves a ringing 7-pin. Oh, Draw, that's pretty far away from Chaco's. Clearview is, let's see, for you, you'd want to come straight down 81 till you get to Harrisburg and then go south from there.
Get a spare? Yeah.
John tries to bounce it out. I'll look on the schedule, Draw. I don't know if we're going to Chaco's this year. Are we going to Chaco's this year?
Plan is in February.
February.
Super adult junior, right?
Yes.
Super adult, yeah,
Super
super adult junior.
Super adult. All right, so Draw, I'm told we're planning to have our this year's super adult junior up at Chaco's this February. The super adult junior is a team of 2 youth and 2 adult. Save me some pizza. I grew up that way.
Their pizza's good. I don't know if it beats Limerick's pizza, but it's pretty good. So Alex is in the pocket, Horton.
Yes.
Given all the trouble the other competitors are in, 9 spare, there's nothing wrong with that right now.
Absolutely not. So we're coming down to the 10th frame on the handicap side. If Richard marks, it's actually going to be tied going into the 10th. He crosses over, leaves just the 6 pin. Good shot there by Alex Sherman. He's still clean through 5. Richard does not make his spare. So only Richard Jr. is on a mark for both teams going into the 10th. So let's see who outperforms who, Chris.
They have a chance. They made up, what was it, 102?
Yes.
102 pins?
103.
103.
Katie leaves a 3-9. Richard leaves a 4 pin. Katie up quick does not get either. So she's in the clubhouse with 87, which is right around what her average is, I believe.
Alex Horton
96, so she's just a tad bit under.
left another 10 pin, this time on lane 14.
Richard makes his spare. That's pretty big. That actually gives them a lead by 10. And Mary Kate leaves a wiggly 5-10. So she's going to need to convert this, and then they're going to have to pray. Don't move. All right, Richard Jr. with 195. And Mary Kate makes the spare.
Very nice conversion.
So if she strikes, Richard is going to have to mark. You don't see many righties make a 5-10.
No. That's a beautiful conversion.
All right, Richard leaves the 6-10. Mary Kate gets 8. So Richard needs 1 to tie.
2 to win.
2 to win.
And he
Gets them both. So they will be moving on. I don't know if you noticed, he gave a really big sigh of relief after he
He did.
All right, so he winds up with 171, and they have 366 to 355. The Schweitzers will be moving on.
Very competitive first match in the handicap division.
All right, so we turn our attention to the scratch. They're only through 6, and it is a 3-pin match. Ed Petraz and Alex Sherman are winning. Ed comes in high, leaves a 6-9. Let's see if Alex Horton can get the 10 pin out.
See if he makes an adjustment. Oh,
9 pin.
9 pin.
He's getting extremely unlucky this game.
He is. But it's a tight match. He just needs to keep making his spares. Looked like he made a good adjustment there. Just a tough break. Good spare by Ed. Alex Horton's still clean through 7. Alex Sherman came up light, 14. Alex Sherman stays clean through 7. Nice conversion by John Boyer on 13. 3-pin match, every spare counts.
All right, into the 8th frame we go. Four pin.
Did it go up yet?
245 for Ed. Alex makes his spare.
Still clean.
First time I saw Alex bowl, he was 5. It was right here in this bowling center.
Was he always two-hander?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Little PJBT trivia, he is the youngest ever scratch champion. 10 years old.
10 years.
10 years old. Alex.
Alex Sherman strikes on 13. That is only the 5th strike in this match. 4 very good bowlers. Only 5 strikes.
All right, so into the foundation frame 9th we go. It's a 2-pin match.
Another 10-pin for Alex. He did make a ball switch, I believe 2 frames ago.
This is, the type of game where if they do find their way to make it,
Yes.
he's liable to shoot like 279 the next game.
I agree. Another nice spare. Clean through 9.
To me, it shows how great his mental game is, not to be young and not to get flustered. He's clean. He's been in the pocket every shot.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the growth. I mean,
Yes.
with with Riley being the same age as Alex and as much as they bowl together, that's the growth I've seen in Alex.
Yes.
Specifically over the last, 12 to 18 months, his spare game and his mental game. He's tough, and bowling all over the country doesn't hurt that. Nice shot by Ed, 114.
Inopportune time for a 4-9 by John. He has yet to strike this game as well.
Right.
Wow.
Come on, here, right here, right here. Yes, that's it.
Nice shot by Alex Sherman. It's our first double, I believe, of the game.
Yes.
Perfect time for it.
I was trying to photobomb.
So this is coming down to the 10th frame. Still anyone's match. Though that double Alex has, Sherman, that could be big.
Yes, especially with John on an open.
Yep.
Gets the 10 out on probably his worst shot.
I know, I agree. Hit him thin and make him spin.
That's right.
Sometimes that's the ticket.
And that shot was so much better.
That was so good.
And where booth is, like I'm literally right at the divide between 14 and 15. And we're just sitting at the perfect place to watch that line. And
Yeah, that shot was right where he wanted it.
it was a hair behind the head.
Right.
That, without a doubt, Chris, is the best 193 game I've ever seen.
I agree with you, Jason.
No tap 300.
Yes.
And Alex has bowled a lot of games here at Limerick. That was probably the most unfriendly game he's probably ever bowled.
Absolutely.
John leaves a single pin. John finishes with 143. Ed strikes for 160. So 353 for the team of Alex Horton and Ed. Sherman strikes again.
So they will be moving on to face Riley and Jack Selman.
Alex definitely found the look
Yes.
The end of the game.
And then he rings a 7.
Yes. Is that that's the PA Fats jinx?
That's the
Okay.
PJBT kiss of death. You learned it very quickly.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, Alex. At least the kiss of death was after they locked up the match.
Yes.
Not before. Okay. 211, I believe.
Yep. Wow.
One pin match.
Huh? You're reading across.
Yeah, that's right. It's ready to cross, not down. Okay. 371 to 336. Okay.
You lost me there. For
I
a
know.
second.
I was trying to trick you. I just want to make sure you're on your game.
I am usually asleep by this time on a Sunday. All right, we'll pass it down to Matt.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time to give out our awards for game number 1, finishing in 4th in the scratch division. The youth bowler getting a $100 scholarship and award. The adult bowler a $100 payout goes to Alex Morton and John Boyer.
Horton and Boyer, 4th place finish today.
And our 4th place finishers in the handicap division, getting a $100 scholarship for the youth and award, and a $100 payout for the adult, goes to Katie Swavely and Mary Kate Glinsky.
Waverly and Glinsky, your 4th place finishers in the handicap division.
Okay, on to our semifinal matches.
All right, so as we get ready for the semis, let's pull up the schedule and talk about upcoming events on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. All right, so next week we stay in this area and we go to Jay Lanes in Douglasville. That's only about 10-12 minutes up the road or so. Closer to us, thankfully.
Closer to us.
So that's next Sunday morning at Jay Lanes, regular season event, 10:30 start time as always. Then the Sunday after Thanksgiving is our Sunday off. This year on the PJBT, we're trying to have one Sunday a month off. So then we pick back up in December, December the 6th, with our next adult junior at Clearview. That is in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania. That is a Sunday, December the 6th at a 10:30 start time. The week after, Sunday, December 13th, is a 21 and under doubles tournament. That is at Colony Park North. That is in York. Sunday, December the 13th at 10:30. Then the last Sunday before Christmas is our next girls only tournament. That is at my favorite little bowling center, East Lincoln Lanes.
Lincoln
That's
Lanes.
between Lancaster and York. Sunday, December the 20th, 10:30 start time. Then we pick up the day after Christmas, as always, with our major number 5. That's the Roto Grip Day After Christmas Open at Haja Rose Bowl. We get a pretty big turnout that day, so we split the field. Handicap bowls at 10, scratch after. We ask everybody to be there for the scratch division by 2, but we usually start closer to 2:30, but you definitely want to be there by 2. Just, who knows with this year. And then we wind up December and the year 2020 with our annual New Year's Eve Bowl at Strike Zone in Pottsville. Thursday, December the 31st. Special start time this year. It's usually 10:30, but this year we're starting at 10. As always, we ask for you to lock in your spot. This year with COVID, we have reduced fields. We can't take the full amount like we usually like to. So in order to reserve your spot, a $20 deposit, paid online at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com will always hold your spot. And for our special tournaments, which in this case is the 2 doubles tournaments coming up, we offer a discount. In order to get the discount, you have to have a $20 deposit in by 11:59 p.m. the Sunday before. So with our next adult junior coming up in December the 6th, you would need to have a $20 deposit paid by Sunday the 29th at 11:59. So that is our upcoming schedule on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. To answer the question, the Super Adult Junior at Chaco's is Sunday, February 21st at 10:30 on a challenge shot that day.
Challenge shot at Chaco's.
Yes.
That'll
By
be
the way,
interesting.
speaking of Chaco's, on my Facebook memories today, my non-genetically proven son's 831 series 6 years ago today up at Chaco's.
At Chaco's.
Yeah.
Rec pattern.
Yes. Yes. He threw the 831 in
That's a big set. That's
games 6, 7, and 8
Oh, nice.
of qualifying. You know, the match play.
Match play.
Had the front 8 every game.
Wow.
The second game he had the first 11, and the 11th he tripped out the 8 pin. Tripped it out. Actually, I can show it to you. I have it.
Yeah, Chaco's on rec. If you're lined up, you can put some scores
Absolutely.
up at Chaco's on the board. That's the amazing thing about bowling. When I talk to people that don't understand the game or they don't understand how you can, take a bowling alley and a set of lanes and make it completely different. Just like today. I mean, Limerick on a house shot, you can score here. Today, different oil pattern, much more challenging, and many people just don't understand how you can change a bowling alley simply by how you put the oil down the lane.
Absolutely.
Okay, bowling fans, time to begin our semifinal matches. On the track side, we have number 2 seed, Riley and Jack Silver, taking on number 3 seed, Alcatraz and Alex Sherman. The side Silvers are elected to have Ed and Alex start on the left lane and their match. On the handicap side, we have number 2 seed, Julian Beltran and Mike Martin, taking on number 4 seed, Richard Schweitzer Jr. and Sr. Julian and Mike are going to start on the left lane, on lane 15, and the difference in the handicap is just 10 pins going to the Schweitzer. Okay? Holy fans, let's give a nice hand for our semifinalists.
All right, off we go into the semifinals.
our handicap match is only a 10-pin difference. A little bit different than our first match. There's 103.
And Richard starts off with a strike. Riley, 9 and a wiggle. Julian comes in high, leaves the 310.
Ed threw a really nice shot. 10-pin. So how much of a difference do the gold pins make, since you watch these matches every week, especially the major?
They're slightly heavier, so you don't actually carry quite as well.
Okay.
Especially the lighter pins. Usually have to have the greatest percentage, you want to be a little on the high flush side.
Well, I wouldn't tell Alex Horton that after his
No.
first game. He was pretty
Absolutely
much there
not.
that whole game.
Yes.
Richard Senior and Junior struck first frame. Jack.
Look how young he looked back. It's 6 years ago. It's hard to believe. And then he threw like the worst shot in the world after that. The jackpot was the 300 pounds, like $300 and some too.
Oh no.
And I think he left like a 610 or a 4.7 or something like that. It was a bad shot. Could have got him an extra book these days.
Yeah, that's best.
So the Schweitzer starting out kind of how they did the first game. Strikes at the beginning. Riley comes in high. Richard with the spare. Let's see if Mike can make his 10 pin. He does with ease. Ed gets a little lucky on his spare attempt. Good shot there by Julian in the
Very
third.
nice shot.
Jack leaves a 6-pin. Jack, the all-time leader in tournament victories on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. How many? Where do you go? Matt's not here. He would know how many he's got.
I think around 25, maybe?
Something, 24, 25, yeah, something
like
around
that.
there. And his brother's second.
Travis, yes.
You're third, right?
Third from last? Yeah.
Hey, you didn't lace them up today. You do normally bowl these adult juniors.
I haven't bowled since January. I haven't picked up a bowling ball. So.
Smart.
Yes.
I got you by about 11 years.
I'm a spectator.
Another 10 pin for Riley. Egg comes in high, leaves a 4-pin. So what's it like for you being a parent? I know it was always like for me watching the finals. It's not the easiest thing in the world to commentate when your child is in the finals. Like I would normally
especially
sit
when
here,
he misses spares like this.
like that.
Yeah,
That's his second missed 10-pin. Yes.
Yes. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm usually sitting here rocking back and forth.
Yes. I just shake my head.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, people ask me all the time like how I got involved with PJBT, and I tell them I couldn't watch my kid bowl anymore. When he was 12, 13, 14 years old, and you're at that stage where they don't want to listen to dad. I just one day I told Matt, if you ever need somebody to get scores, I'll get scores for you, and it kind of just started that way.
Smart move on your part.
Very.
Strike for Jack.
And it was probably the best thing I ever did for his game too. He seemed to get a lot better when I stopped watching. Richard misses a 10-pin. Alex with a 6-pin.
Alex has had a good look since about the 7th frame of last game. I just think he broke down the lane a little bit, and the ball really started reacting nice towards the end of the first game.
Ten-pin for Ed. His Team Master shirt on. Richard Sr. with a 3-pin. Sherm with the spare.
Mike covered his spare. 16. Ed covered his spare.
Richard misses his 3-pin. So his team, both are on back-to-back opens now. We need a re-rack on 15. Riley with his first strike of the game. Jack comes in light, gets them all down.
Jack had a good look most of the day, especially as the day went on, and then shot a 290
Yes.
in match play.
First time I ever watched Jack bowl was in regionals for high school bowling, team event. He had to strike out. He was bowling anchor. He had to strike out just for his high school team to tie the game. And in Baker format, ties, you just have to bowl another game. And they went on to win regionals because of that. And they went on to win states that year, if I remember it correctly. Jack is the all-time leading average bowler in the state of Pennsylvania when he was in high school at 239.
239, yes.
There's a double for Riley, followed by my kid at 236.
And John Delp was the leader for 20-some years.
A lot, many years.
Yeah, John graduated, I think, 91.
Yes.
From Wilson.
Yes, with a 230, I believe it was. I was just talking to somebody about that today, that my father used to send me clippings of John, that this, 17-year-old kid was averaging 230 back in 1990 or 1989-ish.
Yes.
As
And that's
he-
amazing
yes.
when you think about the lane conditions, the equipment.
Yes. Yes. He held the record for many years, and then Shane Tedderton beat that with 232 or 233, and then Jack had the 239. So yes, my kid doesn't even have his high school record because him and Jack went to the same high school. A lot of good high school bowlers have come out of Berks County, Pennsylvania.
Well, this bowling, these tournaments are
Yes.
a key to that.
Yes.
So, type of conditions like today makes you a better bowler, especially when you get into regionals and state competition.
Yep.
630.
Inevitably, of the 24 singles that come out of the East, 12 boys and 12 girls, usually minimum 18 of them bowl in our tournaments.
Tough break for Ed on 14. Came up a little light, left 5-7.
You only won one, right? Good to roll? Right? You're good to go.
Looks like Mike made his spare
Yep.
on 16.
That's a about 11 pin match with Richard on a double. Ed does not make his spare. Riley picks up his 136. With a strike here by Jack, they'll take the lead. And the ever popular solid head pin by Alex Sherman. He makes his spare. Jack did not strike. Left the 1-2-8. Let's see what Mike Martins could do on the handicap side. Lane 15, he's working off of a spare, and he leaves a bucket. Jack makes his spare.
Richard Sr. doubles, one lane 16.
Good spare conversion there by Mike.
Riley strikes on 14.
You know, a thought just occurred to me. I remember trying to get you to move into our school district so Riley could follow in the Conrad Weiser tradition.
Yes, yes. We thought about it for a second.
For a second.
Decided to stay in.
A solid second.
Solid second.
Jack with a strike. They're up by about a mark and a half. Richard Schweitzer Jr. with the spare. Strike here by Senior will all but make that match even.
Tough break for Alex. Came in a little high.
Yes. Mike comes in high, pays the price. 467.
It'll be interesting what happens with high school bowling this year with everything going on with
Yes.
the COVID.
Yes. Last I heard, they were still going to try to do it. I know the preseason tournaments are not happening. At least the ones in our area. I've heard everything from just bowlers, no parents even being allowed. I've heard that for them to bowl, like nobody else can even be in the whole bowling center, and that's hard to do.
That is hard to do.
It's a business. But you know, I could understand how every area is different. I mean, you know, you and I were talking earlier with your job,
Yes,
how different it is.
it is, and difficult decisions being made across the board. PJBT has done a really good job with the protocols that have been put in place and being able to have these tournaments. And you know, even with the high school bowling, you know, with the use of technology, you know, even if parents can't be there with streaming capabilities, hopefully there can still be some connection where they could watch their kid bowl.
Yes.
You know, and you feel it's tough for the seniors especially. So. But yeah, I just can't envision, you know, thinking of regionals and how crowded regionals usually is, districts. I mean, yeah, be interesting to see how everything transpires.
Yes. As big of a bowling center that we have regionals in, it's crowded. It's very crowded.
Yeah.
Great shot there by Riley. That's a triple.
Close match on the handicap side.
Mike breaks up the 7-10.
Head on 13. A little bit light. Got 9. Jack crossed over. Left the 6 pin.
So in we go to the 10th on the handicap side. 5 pin for Julian. Richard Jr., 10 pin.
10 pin?
Yes. Jack with a spare. Julian misses.
Yeah.
Richard misses. So with the handicap, Richard, Junior and Senior up by 5. With Richard Senior on a strike and Mike on a spare. Into the 10th, we go on the scratch side. Ed crosses over and strikes. That's still anybody's match. Mike comes in high, leaves it 3-6-10. Riley, I didn't see the shutouts.
Well, it crossed over.
Did it?
Yep, yes.
Okay.
At doubles. Riley makes a spare.
So if everybody strikes from here on out,
We got a
Riley
tie,
and Jack
I
will win by 4.
4. Okay. I thought we'd be close. Correct. Yes. Yes. Both anchor bowlers. They go sheet will be tied. 225.
Mike does not make his spare. So Richard and Richard will be moving on. Edge strikes. Richard makes his spare.
Riley strikes.
All right, 4 pins is the difference. $351, $333 is the final on the handicap side. Alex Sherman with a strike, so whatever he does, Jack needs to do it, at least on the first 2.
Come on, big church.
Jack with a strike. Alex with a strike.
Nice strike.
All right, so basically comes down to this.
Yep.
Hopefully this for Tommy Burns. 4-9. 4-9.
Light. That's it.
And it's a 2-pin, and Ed and Alex will be moving on, assuming Alex keeps it on the lane.
Oh my God. I can't believe it.
And he does.
Yay.
424 to 418. He makes this.
6-pin match. 1 mark.
Okay, good bowling there on the scratch side. Nice close match.
All matches have been close so far. Should be
Yes.
good finals as well.
Hey, come on, Nicole. You're doing good. Blood pressure low. Do this for Tommy Burns. Come on.
All right, take it away, Matt.
That concludes our semifinal matches. Finishing in third in the scratch division, getting a $125 scholarship and a $125 payout cash to the adult goes to the team of Riley Selmer and Jack Selmer.
Riley and Jack Selmer, your third place finishers on the day today in the scratch division. Good bowling.
Our third place finishers in the handicap division. Youth bowler getting a $125 scholarship and award. The adult bowler $125 payout goes to Julian Beltran and Mike Morton.
Julian Beltran, Trame, and Mike Martin, third place finishers in the handicap division today.
Okay, on to our title matches.
All right, as we get ready for the finals, we will be back in about a minute and 55 seconds. Heading out?
Let's see what he wants to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Good. It's fun, isn't it?
You know,
It's all right.
I did this in high school.
Did you?
I was the PA announcer for the Goggle Complex. in
Were you
basketball
really?
my senior year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so-
That's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, it's fun. So there were some good times. Yeah, we had our own TV studio at Reading School District. So I did the morning announcement for sports, and I did
Really?
basketball. Yeah.
Did you want a career in that?
Yeah, well, that's what I started school with. Yeah, yes. Just went in a different direction, but yeah. Yeah, my claim to fame. You remember Rashid? You follow basketball?
Yeah.
Rashid Wallace.
Yeah.
So there's a video of him in his career on YouTube, and I commentated the
Really?
game. It was at the Geigle in '93 when he was with Simon Grattan. But yeah, so that's out on YouTube. That's my claim to fame for my high school broadcasting. Rashid's game.
So, the whatchamacall was right before you when Marshall.
Danielle,
Yeah,
he
was right
graduated
before you.
'91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just may have to go look up that clip.
Yeah, this was back in the day. So good old Geigle Complex. Well, we were one of the first schools. I believe it was us in Wilson that even had those capabilities. And Reading had a broadcast studio in the late '70s because there was an alumni who worked at CBS, and we used to get to their equipment then from CBS up in New York. So, yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it was good. Yeah, those were good times.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And just so you know, it looks like the bad weather is just about here. So if something happens that we go offline, you know why. So, of course, it looks like I will have to drive home in the rain. Lovely. One thing I hate doing is driving at night in the rain.
Yes.
Chris was just telling me how he was back in the day when he was in high school. He was announcing basketball games at his high school.
Back in the day, early '90s.
Ah, you youngin'.
It was difficult too because we would broadcast on TV, but then I was also the PA announcer live at the Geigle. So I actually, because of the equipment, you'd have to go back and forth between mics. So you had to be quick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was just the guy that used to keep those score books during the basketball games, those official books. I did it for our girls team, the high school I went in. Our girls team probably still has the national record for consecutive losses.
How many?
It was in the 120s if I remember correctly.
Wow.
Again, small Catholic school.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we had a team of 8.
It's a lot of losses.
That is a lot of losses.
That's a
Yes.
lot of
In all the years I kept books for them, I never saw them win a game. I'm sure you remember seeing those books
Oh, yes.
Those stat books that they
Absolutely.
had for high school.
Well, that would be my first stop before I'd go up to the booth to get the starting lineups from the scores table.
Yep. And then when you had the home game, you had to call it into the local newspaper, and
Yes.
fun times, fun times. And I also did, just remembering it, for the boys team, I did video my junior and senior year.
Basketball.
Yeah, basketball. Our gymnasium, for a small Catholic school, like I said, a very small Catholic school, our gymnasium was huge. Not as big as like the Geigel where you went, because you're in right. But we could have easily had district playoff games in our gym. But the school was in the middle of downtown Carbondale, and there was no parking whatsoever. So like our gymnasium, like it didn't have the collapsible bleachers. They were always, they were permanent bleachers.
Fixed
And
bleachers.
I would say there had to be 40 rows of them on each side, from end to end. You could easily fit 3,000 people or more in that gym. But you would never be able to fit 1,000 cars in that area.
3,000 before COVID, you could fit in that gym,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Now about 50.
Yes. Now that school closed, I think about 15 years ago.
Okay.
It's still standing. So if you ever get up to Carbondale and you're walking in the middle of downtown and you see the school there, I'm sure you could peek in a window and see how big the gym was. Even if they could have games there, they probably never would, because we had the hardest rims. You could have teams that would average 80 points and they'd struggle to score 50 in that gym. They would clank.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they had to be rims from the 40s that
I was
never
going
got
to say,
changed.
sounds like rims from the movie Hoosiers.
Exactly.
Looks like they're finishing warming up. 13, 14.
Good. That's good going down memory lane. Thanks, Chris.
No
Appreciate
problem.
that. All right, so it looks like we are just about ready for the finals. Take it away, Matt.
Bowling fans, it is time to begin our title matches for today's PJBT. On the scratch side, we have top seed Aiden Davis and Brad Peck taking on number 3 seed Ed Petraz and Alex Sherman. Aiden and Brad have elected to have Ed and Alex start on the left lane. On the handicap side, we have top seed Adrian and Dorothy Piccarelli taking on number 4 seed Richard Schweitzer Jr. and Sr. Adrian and Dorothy are going to start the match on the left lane, and they get the handicap difference of 59. All right, bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our title matches for today's PJBT.
All right, and away we go. We're off. Well, at least these storms are moving quick, 70 miles an hour. All right, so we got Ed starting us off on 13, Aiden. Aiden, the reigning Berks County bowling champion for high school, won it as a freshman. Your son won it as a sophomore. Freshman, that's right, yeah, he was a freshman too. I remember that day. That was one hell of a day.
Yeah, he shot 830s.
Yes.
300 game. Nice shot by Aiden Davis. Yeah, I believe he has the county record for that tournament.
I believe he does. So what do you know? Aiden won it. Riley won it. My son won it. My kid probably has the record for the lowest winning score. For Berks Lanes, the shot wasn't the easiest. He won it his sophomore year.
You said it was at Burks?
Burks, yeah.
All strikes.
Who would have thought, Chris?
A little different than game one.
Did they put house out all of a sudden?
We were talking earlier in the show about the transition.
Yes.
Middle, we're on game 3. So it's transitioning very similar to what we saw earlier today during competition. Opening up a little bit now.
On the handicap side, it's 59 going to the Pirellis. Hope I'm saying that right.
Ed doubles. See if Aiden can keep pace. Pin. Aiden's another bowler that's really come a long way in the last 18 to 24 months.
Good genes.
Yes. That's very good bowler.
Aiden does not make this 10 pin. Adrian does.
Sherman goes high. Brad crosses over.
3. Oh my God, how did that miss
Brad Kemp's a really good bowler in his own right.
Yes, Brad had a 300.
He did.
Game 9.
Game 9.
Which catapulted them back into the lead.
Yes. He shoots decent amount of 300 and 800s every year. I see his name in the paper often. Richard Sr. with a spare.
Nice strike there by Aiden Davis. Ed carries.
Wall shot.
Hit him thin, make him spin on lane 13.
Adrian with a strike.
Brad strikes on 14. Sherman strikes on 13. So let's talk Player of the Year, Jason. Early on here, middle of November for
If the season ended today, probably give it to Zombro Triple I.
Yeah,
probably.
Parker Laubach would be right there in the
Parker's right there.
conversation as well.
Absolutely.
Parker's another young man, put a lot of work into his game.
Yes.
It's a nice thing about being out here and watching.
How do I get her? Ask Dory V to pronounce her name,
No,
so I didn't
that's
butcher
okay.
it.
No, we were saying, watching young bowlers grow over the years and how they really improve
Yes.
on their games. And, little D, Parker.
Yep.
You
You certainly,
Aiden.
with watching this every week, you certainly know which ones are putting the time
Yes.
into it.
Brad comes up high on 13, split. Alex covers his spare on 14. So Ed got front 4, so he is locked in. So he has 7 in a row from last game.
Yep.
In the last game.
Yes.
Weather update.
Yes. Yeah, we were just looking at that.
Yeah, obviously Matt didn't pick the finals format based on the weather forecast.
No, he did not. Dory V with a strike. Aiden now with 3 in a row.
Kind of what you said at game 1. Again, I go back to Alex Horton. He was in the pocket that entire game. And you said if he would have made it through, he would have probably started to carry like we're seeing now.
Yes. There's no doubt in my mind.
Oh, I like it.
It's a little high on 13. Makeable single pin.
Richard Sr. crosses over, leaves it 3-9.
Brad made a ball change on 14, came up light.
Dory V looking to double. And it's 9 and a wiggle.
That covers a spare. Brad covers his spare.
Dory V does not make her 7th pin.
Alex left 6-8.
Is that a 4-6?
That's why I can't.
Yeah, I can't quite see from this angle. 6-8, 4-6. Looks like a 6-8. That's the. That's how the gold pins throw you off sometimes.
It is. It's hard to tell.
Either that or our eyes are just getting old.
Maybe a little bit of both. back on the strike train. He has a really good look right now.
Richard does not make his spare. So they got to get moving a little bit. They're down about 4 marks still.
Aiden comes in a little light. Alex trips out to 6.
Richard with a strike.
Aiden covers a spare.
Dory V does not make her 610.
Brad carries. Kicks out the 7 pin on 13. Junior struck on 16.
Yes, you could certainly see the difference where, you know, you've gotten to stay on the same pairs. Come on. It's not nearly as choppy, I guess is a good way to say it. Pin for Aiden. Dory V with a strike. Richard Sr. misses his single pin. Ed makes his. Colleen, how nice of you to join us. This is the championship match. Thank you for joining us.
Aiden cleans up his spare.
She says hello to you.
Hello, Colin.
It's a double for Richard Jr. Alex comes in high. Adrian with a big strike in the 8th. Nothing wrong with being nosy, Colleen. Another ball change for Brad.
Another ball change, yes. Alex covers his spare.
Washout for Richard. Kind of looks like he's getting a little tired. And this would be game 12.
This would be game 12.
Plus all the practice.
Been a long day.
Looks like Arizona scored with under 10 seconds to go to take the lead over Buffalo. Which is probably good for my fantasy team.
Ed strikes on 14. Aiden Davis strikes on 13.
So if Brad Kemp strikes, they take the lead. They did score. That was very good for my fantasy team.
Alex looks like he's lost specifically 14.
And who are your cousin and uncle, J-Rod? Richard Jr. with an 8 count in the 9th.
Kemp strikes on 13.
So Brad is throwing one ball on the left lane and a different ball on the right lane.
Yes, he is. Nice cover by Alex.
Adrian does not make his spare in the 9th. Richard makes his. We're up to the 9th in the scratch match as well. And up first, 10 pin. That double would have been big.
That would have been.
Aiden now up. 10 pin as well. He came in hot. So no advantage. Dory V came in high. She left a split.
That covers his spare.
Richard strikes, so they're going to have 2 marks going into the 10th. And the Picarellis most likely will be on 2 opens. A big spare here for Aiden, which he makes.
Good cover by Aiden.
So if Brad strikes, that will extend their lead. Good attempt by Dorvey. Great shot there by Alex, and much needed strike. All right, Adrian's up in the 10th, and he leaves a 7 pin.
Down to sweep 115, so I think that startled Brad in his approach.
Adrian does not make his spare, so he's in the clubhouse with 125. Strike for Richard.
Shot by Richard.
With a split. Brad gets the 10 out.
Nice shot by Richard.
Yes. And all of a sudden, they pull into the lead. And they were just down 40 pins about 2 frames ago.
Never over.
Nope.
Till it's over.
Never over to PA Fat Sings. Chris.
I prefer to go with the scores on the screen.
Smart man. 2 pin for Ed.
Aiden. There's a 7 pin.
So the Richard and Richard climb the ladder and take home the title in the handicap division.
Ed covers his spare.
With them winning, the good news for me is I only have to remember one name.
That will make it easy.
Trust me, for me, it's a very good thing.
A nice run by Richard and Richard.
Yes.
Handicap.
Yes.
Very nice.
Aiden covers his 7 pin. So basically, if Ed strikes here and Alex strikes out, I believe Brad just needs to mark. Definitely if he strikes. With a spare, we'll have to see what count he would need.
Six count for Aiden. 201.
Come on. All right,
9. So 227.
So I believe Brad needs 9 spare 9 to shut out Alex, if my addition is correct, assuming Alex would strike out.
Double
8
wood on
count.
13.
Come on.
Alex carries.
89,
6 pin.
so 416. Yes, yes. If Brad spares and strikes, they still win, no matter what Alex does.
Got this for county money?
So I was right with the 9
You were
spare
right.
9. Yeah. Hey, what do you know? The accountant
The
still knows how to
accountant.
call.
Right, that's good. Without an Excel sheet, I'm impressed.
A lot of shit out there, buddy.
All right, strike to shot.
Big cover there by Brad.
You're doing this again with me. That's what I'm telling you. Now it's academic.
Now it's all that sweating you did over that math for not. So.
All right, Aiden Davis and Brad Kemp are taking home the title.